Hello and welcome to Sim Racing Online. As you can see, we are just about through qualify here. I want to welcome everybody to the broadcast. Had a little technical difficulties there, but we are underway. As you can see, we've been following the times. We got Andrew Tomlinson leading the pole, sitting on pole with Bali in the Ferrari and Silver in the Lambo. With Simon Geimer in the Lambo, who we're watching right now, last year's series champion. We are at Zandvoort in the Netherlands. Beautiful place by the North Sea, really tricky track. These guys have got to be on their toes the entire lap here, as you see Geimer pulling into the pits. So let's go down the list here. We got Tomlinson, Bali, still on a ripper as we are just at 2 minutes. Got Sylvie's parked, Geimer's parked, and let's check. We can't get a hold of Max. Max has got some kind of technical difficulties, so we can't get. He's in, but I don't see his car to the number 77. But there's Mark Robinson, Mark Eakins, and Vasilis Lumanas. Peter Williamson in that Audi. It's a good looking car there. But it looks as though with just under 2 minutes to go, these guys might be willing to set hold. I don't see these guys heading out for a fresh lap. We've got 4 cars on track right now, so let's take a look at that. Let's see. The closest contender we got is Bali. We will let Peter cross the line here, see how he does. And he maintains his P8 position. So let's check on Bali. Nope, it looks like he's given this lap up as well. So let's check out Larry Thomas in that black Ferrari. It looks like he's given up his lap as well. So I think we are set for the pole. I apologize for the sound issues in the beginning, but Bali is just about finished here. Unless could have been making some room. There he's making a lot of room by smashing his front end into the fence. So I believe Larry's going to come in. Let's check on Bali, who has a shot at pole as he starts off ripper here. Here we go. This will be his last lap. We've got just the 3 cars on track now, so Bali's got the best chance of perhaps taking that pole away from Tomlinson. As he makes his way through the first section. This circuit is one of those beautiful historic circuits that's been around pre-World War II. It was not the track you see today. Back then, it was actually consisted of roadways that the German army that occupied it at the time. It was their communication roads that they raced on in the late 30s. Up until 2017, and when it was modified into pretty much what we see today, a 4.259 kilometer, 2.646 mile motorsport racing track. Really challenging track. The favorites of a lot of these drivers. It's really technical. You can see about a half a second, just over half a second is separating the top 4. See what Bali can do here as he makes it through that tricky little, has he given up? He's given up his lap. Okay, so that's a conceded and the time has expired. So here we go. There is your order. As the screen's going to tick here. So we got Tomlinson in the Bentley, Bali in the Ferrari, Selby in the Lambo, and Geimer in the Lambo, last season's champ. Mark Robinson in the Bentley. Mark Eakins driving that nice looking Audi. Dumanis, another Lambo. Peter Williamson in the other Audi. And then David Plummer in the Bentley. Ed Jones in the Mercedes, Larry Thomas in the Ferrari, and Max Veloci in another Lambo. So I am having a little bit of issues here. Let's see if I can get these guys. 11 now. So I'm going to go down the list here, see if I can make sure I can see everybody. There's Simon. There's Mac. Okay, it's Max is the one that we do not see. And number 77, he's not on the list. He, however, is on the broadcast list, so he must have got disconnected. Geimer, Robinson, Eakins, Dumanis, Williamson, parked out in the grass. Maybe he's having a sandwich or taking a picture by the beach there. This is a beautiful place to be. If you've ever visited this part of the world, which I haven't, but I've seen lots of pictures. I hear it's really beautiful. Edward Jones, and that Merck, Larry Thomas in the Ferrari. So let's see who we had. Did Max finally get to join us? Let's check it out. Max has shown up now. He showed up. Maybe he will res in when the session changes. All right, here we go. We got a 2-minute wait now while the drivers can set up their pit strategies, make sure their fuels are wrecked after quali. This race does have a mandatory pit stop with a 4-tire change. The pits are open from green to checkered, so they can come in at any time once the race starts. So that's a little bit of the strategy. And as said, of course, it's pretty much the timings are always the same in the pit. You can fuel while you're getting tires. That's a GT3 rule. And so for that, it's not really a matter of who's going to take longer in the pits unless you have damage. So let's see. I got to make sure I don't have to do anything here. Sometimes, as I'm also the host, I have to do a couple things. Let me see here. Hit the drive button. There we go. That'll put us back into the correct mode. And now we'll be ready to go in just under a minute. If I can get a couple of shots here. Daily cam. We go down the list. You see how the track is already rubbering up, and you see all that debris on the right. This game does, if you get off in that rubber, it will get on your tires. It does take a half a lap or so to scrub them. Simon Geimer, and still no Max. Robinson, Eakins, Dumanis, Williamson, Plummer, and where is Mr. Jones? There he is. And Mr. Thomas right there. Okay. So this race will have a formation lap, which they are now starting. As you can see them taking off on the formation lap. Give them a chance to warm up those brakes, heat up your tires, whatever you need to do. Get yourself ready for this race. Sometimes you can drag your brake a little bit as you're going, just to heat up those brakes, to get those tires a little bit hot. Try to get them up to pressure. This game really simulates the tire pressure well. It's one of the cooler things about this particular sim, where they've taken all this real world data from, when they signed up and using the SRO license. They were able to talk with drivers and tire manufacturers and engineers, and they really soaked up a lot of awesome knowledge and applied it to this sim, where these tires are the key actually to being successful in this sim. You have to manage the rubber as far as don't overcook them. If you start too aggressive, they're gonna not make it through the stint. The ideal way is just warm them up slowly, and you'll get the most grip out of them as they reach their peak grip. And then it begins to fall off after, the first 10 or 15 minutes. You want that middle range part to have as much grip as possible. So you're pretty much at the first 4 or 5 laps, you got your quali grip, and then after that, you have to pretty much maintain it. So don't abuse your tires in this game, and you can go a long way. And having a 4-tire change mandatory, guys can pretty much push a little bit and not worry about, they got to come in anyway. So if you do you're not going to lose an advantage because everybody has to pit. So if you have to pit early because your tires, you just got to make them last longer. That kind of stuff. So down the field here. Robinson and that Team HSR livery. Eakins in that green and black Audi. And Demonis in the purple black Lambo. And Williamson in that fully colored Audi. It's a good looking car. As they file, they set up for double file now as we get ready for the start. It's coming down that final bend. Let's get back up to the front runners and see if we can watch the lights. We'll go with a top view here so we can get a good look at the start. As soon as they hit this line, they'll be going green at the red and white, and we are racing. Great start by Tomlinson. As Bali gets in place, and it looks like, oh, we have a little bit of some collision. No harm, no foul. Oh, Selby's taking a beating back there. Everybody stayed on track. One is always a little bit tricky. Guys cleared it through. Let's jump back and make sure that these guys are good. It looks like everybody got through. No harm, no foul. However, I think Selby got the raw end of that deal. As they hit through the second one, we've got a little bit get tight in here. Keep it clean, guys. So Selby's got some work to do to get himself back up there. They battle through lap one. I think everybody's still in it. Oh, a little tit for tat. This place is so tight and it's so tough. It's Eakins and Selby battling. Selby did have that little bit quicker queue time, so he might have a little bit of an advantage to work his way back up the field. All right, let's check up here with the leaders. We got Bali's got himself into second place with Geimer third. Dumanis has moved up to fourth. As they complete lap one, you can see the gap there with Tomlinson out in the lead, stretching his legs a little bit. This mid-pack field here, it's getting a little stacked up the fifth position on, so as the top four kind of spread out a little bit, these guys, oh, so we have a little bit of an off. Can you get back on? Peter, nice save there, maintains his position as Selby has worked his way through and he is looking to get back up there. So this is a long race, 75 minutes today, so these guys gotta be patient, not try and do too much too soon. As we can see, this is the battle right now for fifth place. He's dragging a little bit of feet in the grass as he takes it a little bit wide. Could open the door for Tanner, looking to the inside. But now he's on the outside of this really tricky little section here. This track is just, it does never give you a break. Peter defending, oh, we got a little elbow bender. Tanner keeps it going straight. He did keep it straight, so Tanner's gonna be a little black and blue, man. He's taking a beating, but he's hanging in there. I don't see too much damage on the car, so I think he's okay. Let's check out what's going on back here. Thomas in the Ferrari, just kind of keeping his eye on the pack in front of him. Larry's a really consistent driver. He always finishes. He'll find his way through here. Just keep himself out of trouble. And let's see, Riva didn't make it in. Looks like Ricardo tried to make it, but he didn't make the grid. I see him in the paddock. unfortunately didn't make the grid. So let's get up to the top here and check out our leader, Andrew. There is Halmanson, stretching his leg. He's built himself a 2.2 second gap, as you can see, just in the back there. And there is Bali. So we'll see how things go here. It's going to be up to Andrew just to hit his marks. Just have a steady pace here. Let's check on Geimer. As we can see, Geimer's got it coming on. You can see Bali up there. So these guys kind of settle in for the many, many laps to go here. So let's check this battle for fifth place. Williamson still holding off as the two Audis are going at it for that fifth place spot, with Tanner right on their heels. Tanner looking for a way. So this is our tight battle in the very early start of this race. 4, 5, and 6 positions right there, all within a half a second of each other. You can just see how nasty this place is. These turns and the curbs, and kind of a good idea to stay off. 80% of these curbs will just torture you, so you really got to keep it clean if you can. As Eakins is just all over the back of Williamson here. Keeping it steady as they head down into the dunes. Really tricky section here. If you hit it just right, you keep your momentum, keep a little bit on the throttle through those turns. Head up into that Hans Erst bend here. Really tricky section right here. Hard on the brakes. You got to set yourself up for the exit. Get that exit just right. The first one on the throttle wins. As we have Robinson in that Bentley in 8th position, is closing in on this group as well. So this is going to be a fight here for the 5th, 6th, and 7th position. You see them bunching up pretty good. Leaders are spreading out. Sylvie's just looking for a way around. I think if Tanner can get his way around these, he does have the pace that he proved in qualifying, that he can just get around this pack. He might be able to make his way, but that is not going to be an easy task, as this track is relentless for passing zones. It's just, there aren't any. Every pass you make is a risk, just about. Not a lot of spots to do it. If you can get a jump on the last turn, perhaps, but... And this bend going up here, the Stolenmacher. I think they call that little back bend back there. As you drop down into the turns 8 and 9. They're heading into now. Williamson doing a great job defending that 5th place. He's got to be feeling the pressure from Eakins and Selby back there. And now Robinson has joined the fight, and Selby looking to defend as well as trying to find a way in. Oh, well, we have an off, and there is Williamson going off. Releasing it. Did he maintain? Wait for the update. Yes. Eakins has taken the spot, I believe, from Williamson. There we go. Eakins now gets the 5th spot. Williamson and Tanner also looking to take advantage. I gotta apologize. I've got a driver, Max's car is in between these on my broadcast app, and so his name is in between. I have to go down a couple to get to these guys because he's not showing up on in the race. as this battle for 5th and 6th intensifies. We have one change already. As you can see by the track map, the leaders, the top 3 are pretty much spread out. Tomlinson is just in another world. He's taken off. We'll see what happens after the pit stops, but he's running away at this point, so we're going to stick with the action. See what we can do. Have a look what it looks like here from Peter's driving view. Selby in his mirror and Eakins right in front. They head through this tricky little section here. 11 and 12 is so tricky. Then if you can hit it just right, get on the throttle early, right about here you can start going through the gears, as you can see him doing. Yeah, you get the good grip, you just keep your foot in it. Nicely done. In Dumanasi, I gotta get Vasilis to tell me how to pronounce his name. I apologize for butchering your guys' names. Just get with me in the chat, sound them out in phonics. I'll try to get it right. But these guys slowly closing in on Dumanas. Up there, and that other Lambo. Tanner just, let's jump on board with Tanner here as he heads through the 2nd sector. Oh, we have an off. There's an off. So Williamson, another tough break there as he loses the car and loses 2 positions, becoming a victim of these treacherous turns, and it looks like he could be in risk of Plummer also getting on him. Just shows you how difficult this track is. I mean, one false move and you are dropping down the field. So Williamson was defending 5th beautifully, now finds himself in 8th. We got Robinson now in 7th. Sylvie in 6th, getting ready to apply the pressure to Eakins up there, who is closing in on Demonis as well. So here is our mid-pack battle. As you can see, Eakins stretched his legs a little bit there, a little bit of an advantage over Sylvie, but Sylvie's been licking his wounds and probably preparing for another attack. They make it through sector 1 here. Meanwhile, out in front, Andrew just having a drive at the beach, enjoying the view. He's got a 7-second lead over Bali, so whatever he's doing it right. That beautiful custom livery Bentley, a good looking car. We do have custom skins now at SRO. There is a thread on the website if you want to get your skin in here, if you want to take part in these races. Visit the site. It's free to race for everybody. Jump on in, get signed up. This race is every 2 weeks on Saturdays. We also have weekday races in all the other sims. We've got R Factor 2 coming up on Tuesdays. We got another ACC in the BMW TCX class Wednesday night. That is a really fun series as well. Checking out the brand new cars from Kunos. That TCX series BMW is a lot of fun. A lot of fun to drive. So head on over to simracingonline.co.uk and just check it out and get yourself signed up. It's a great place to race, and this stuff, if you like this kind of stuff, it's going on every week, weekdays, weekends, you name it. Okay, so now let's get down. Eakins now finds himself in 4th place as he did make the pass on Demonis, it looks like. So Demonis might be having a little bit of tire issues. Let's check him out here. As Eakins got by him. looked like it was relatively eventful. His Mark is starting to stretch his legs a little bit here. And Selby looks like he had another off. He's falling back in the pack. As we were watching the leaders there, I apologize for missing all that. It's typical. Let's check on Tanner. He's in the pit, so Tanner could be taking advantage. He's just like, okay, screw this. I'm getting tires. I'm going to set myself up and start running some laps, unless he had some bad damage. But he has pitted. He has completed his compulsory pit stop, so he is ready to go to the finish now with 60 minutes left. And if you take care of these tires properly, it's no problem getting 60 minutes stint out of these tires if you have managed to. So you saw what happened to him in the beginning. He probably, you know, went through some rubber there, and he's all set up now to finish the race. So let's check out what we got going up here. Eakins got about a 1.7 second lead over Demonis now. Robinson and Williamson be back behind there. Here is Robinson now. So Robinson about 3 seconds back off of 5th place. And then we have Williamson trying to regroup himself as David Plummer applies the pressure. So here is that tricky little section where you're dead in the dunes if you lose it there. And the 8th place Plummer staying with 7th place Williamson, trying to keep the pressure on him. They negotiate this tricky part, sector 2 to sector 3 section. Coming up into that turn 11 and 12 chicane sector section. That section is all set up on entry. You gotta have that. Your first entry's right, you'll be really good out of the exit, and it looks like Plummer got a really good exit out of there. So he's really putting the pressure on Williamson now. Williamson could have a little bit of tire problems after he has had a couple of slight offs. So he could be burning that rubber up. It looks like Plummer's going to look to the inside. He's got a nose on the bumper. He's going to outbrake him. It goes for the inside pass, and he gets that spot on the inside as Williamson drops yet back another position. So it's tough sledding here on this track, and great driving there by Plummer. Or Robinson, I'm sorry, getting that spot. No, that is Plummer. These skins are getting me mixed up. It takes a minute for the stats to update. The leaderboard up there, I don't think won't update until we get it to the sector line. Let's see if I can cycle through this a little bit. This will show not positions in order, but it'll show time differences, as you can see now. So I kind of like to show it with the leader on top there. We are 10 laps in, as you can see. And this is one of the tighter battles right now going on in this mid-pack battle. It's been fantastic. Peter's got to be kicking himself. Just a couple little ops. It's just so easy here to just catch a curb wrong and find yourself falling back. So plenty of time left. Jones in that Merc. Let's get a look at this Merc. Get a look at the dash on this Merc as he heads into that 13-14 section. Getting on that gas. It's a great exit right there. That Merc is such a throaty car. Just listen to that thing. It just sounds great. All right. Check on Tanner. As you can see Tanner now It's the only car that's pitted, so obviously he's going to be back. But let's see if the undercut works for him, and he might gain some positions as the race progresses here. And then back to the top. Here is after 11 laps. The gap to Bali isn't even showing up there. It's pretty large, as you can see, as he comes up. He's about ready to catch Tanner, who has already lapped. I don't think he's going to be able to catch him, though. Tanner should be on fresh rubber and be able to keep that gap. And then going down, let's check on Bali. There it is. It's a 10-second gap. Okay, so. And Geimer's 3 seconds off of Bali. So Bali, we're in a steady, consistent race in the Ferrari. He's maintaining himself pretty good. Good look at that Ferrari. That's just a beautiful car. Heading into turn 1. I love the dashboard on that Ferrari. Such a nice car. And he handles it really well. Got Geimer in that Lambo for this round 2. Getting up through this really high speed section here. Really important to maintain it right through there. Uh-oh, we have a car off. The 63, is it Tanner again? I think Tanner has retired. Okay, so that's it for Sylvie. As you saw the yellow there, I see his name still on the broadcast list, but he is gone from the leaderboard there. Tough break for Tanner, retiring. He kind of got a bum deal there in the beginning, so not a great start. And he has retired from this race. So as we go down, we're going to look for the battles here. It looks like who's in the 127 there. And the 43, Plummer. As we're scanning the track map for any close battles. We are 13 laps in with just under 20 minutes into the race. Robinson has about a 2-second gap on his teammate Plummer. I think all 3 of these Bentley guys that race for HSR represented their custom liveries. Looking good. Let's check on Series 1 champion Simon Geimer, who's just maintaining his position. At this point at the race, it's just you hit your marks and just try and keep your lap times going down. Fuel load is getting light, but the rubber is also wearing out, so it's a compromise. But Geimer always seems to have a little bit of something left in the tank towards the end. Find him in there as he's sitting on the podium right now. But we've got a long way to go. He's kind of closing the gap on Bali a little bit there. So this could get interesting in the next 15 minutes or so. Check on Eakins in that number 31 Audi. Having a good race today. Finds himself in 4th place. And Vasilis in the other Lambo there. A steady 5th place. Had it up there for a minute, but you know, may have been saving his rubber. Maybe his pace just wasn't quite there, but he's having a great race, keeping it consistent, keeping it clean. There we have Robinson. Now the second Bentley, who finds himself in 6th, as Andrew is just running away to the top of the field at 13. second gap. And teammate Plummer just some 2 seconds off his tail, so you can see these two guys here. So things might develop here. Let's check on Geimer, and that this is going to be a battle for second place. I have a feeling here. He's starting to close in on Bali. Geimer's starting to work his magic. There's the gap there. You can see as they cross the lap for start of lap 16. There's his gap to second place. And meanwhile, back to the battle for fifth with Dumanas holding that position. But Robinson has got his eye on it. So they're starting to bunch up there. These three going to be this battle for fifth. As it looks like Bali has maintained a 4-second gap up there from third place from Geimer. It looked like he was closing for a minute, but I think he stretched it back out to about 4 seconds. So this is our tightest pack right here. Then we also have Larry. Also, looks like Larry has gone out too. Looks like Larry retired. So we've lost Thomas. Puts Jones in 9th place. And he's got Williamson not too far ahead. I think about a 2-second gap. So we could have a nice little tail of the pack fight going on here towards the end. So it looks like 3 drivers are out so far. Sylvie and Thomas and Velocity that never made it in, and Riva, who showed up, just missed getting into the race. It's unfortunate. He was just a little bit late to get on the grid. He's definitely a contender. Okay, as we go back to the top, now a 14-second gap over Bali. It's just a driving apart for Tomlinson. So he's just able to hit his marks, keep his concentration. There's no stress, no pressure. We'll see what happens after the stops, as none of the remaining drivers have done their compulsory pit stops yet. So let's check on Bali. Best lap is a 1:37.1. His last lap at 1:38.2. So tire wear could be coming into play now as the times are going to start to drop a little bit. And let's go back to this battle here for 5th place, which is starting to heat up. So you can see the both Bentleys at teammate HSR starting to put a little bit of pressure on Dumanas. As I keep my eyes peeled on the map for anything, this looks like this is the tightest battle. Be saying Williamson and Jones are going to be getting into it there, as it looks like they're tightening up as we speak. Let's jump back there and see what the gap is. It looks like Jones has gotten around Williamson. Williamson is definitely showing damage there, and I wouldn't be surprised if he takes this pit stop here pretty soon. So Williamson gives up 9th. He's had a rough go. He was up in the top 5 there, running a great race, but as of late, he has ran into a little bit of trouble. As you can see, he's just having trouble keeping that baby on the track. I'm thinking, oh yeah, he's got some damage. That's a tough break on Peter. He's a trooper though. He'll if his car will make it, he's gonna stick it out. Not gonna let a little bit of damage stop him from finishing. As he takes the pit stop now, oh, and it just gives himself another little kiss on the wall there. So none too late here for Williamson. So let's hope he can come out of the pits in a little bit better shape. It's his battle of survival. As let's head back to this battle here for 5th and 6th and 7th place. So Williamson will be coming out with his compulsory pits. He'll be the first one completed. He's probably got some damage to fix, so he might have a little bit longer pit stop, but his required stop will be completed. We hit 45 minutes remaining, so we've passed the halfway part just about right now. 75 minutes. A little bit away from halfway. There you see the gap, the 5th, 6th, and 7th place cars where the most pressure is being applied. And Williamson is getting some repair. He is going down a lap to these cars, but they are yet to pit, so we'll just see what happens. Comes Ed Jones. 8th place in that AMG. And David Plummer. Let's get a look at what he's looking at here. Just trying to stick with his teammate. Keep this gap tight enough to take advantage. As Williamson is now back out on track. So it's good to see Peter back in the action. All right. Meanwhile, back up here, Eakins is, I think he can probably see Geimer now up there. Actually closing that gap to 3rd place. So Mark with a great race today. Mark is one of our more competitive drivers. I think this guy gets better every race. You can tell that his training, his practice, it's all starting to pay off. Great job today. Got that gap down to 2 seconds. And in the meantime, I think we are starting to see a little bit of pressure here for Vasilis. And your battle for 5th place right here. That Bentley is just such a beast. I would not like looking at that thing in my rearview mirror at all. As they're heading down to that tricky 11 and 12 chicane. As Vasilis said, it's a little rough through there. This could open the door for Robinson. He's taking a look. Vasilis off the inside curb. This could open the door right here. That throats of those Bentleys are open wide here as we come out of the exit. This could be the opportunity he's been waiting for. As they come to these side by side, and it looks like he's gonna have to give it up. Yes. And Robinson takes the position. Beautiful pass down the main straight. Very nicely done. As you see Vasilis now, he's probably thinking about that pit stop, maybe getting himself some rubber. As you can see, Robinson is starting to drive away. So Vasilis now comes under pressure from Robinson's teammate Plummer, who's just watched his teammate take advantage and says, hey, I'm going to try that too. So Vasilis has got his hands full here, right in the middle of an HSR sandwich as Vasilis goes wide and gives up that position once again. I think it's time for Vasilis to get in there and get some fresh tires before he starts losing too much time to these guys, because these guys are starting to press it on. So there you have it, the 5th place, 6th and 7th all just swapped. We got Robinson in 5th and Plummer, Team HSR, making their way up to the front as Tomlinson, our other teammate, is just running wild, barring anything from happening. It looks like he's got this one in the bag if he just maintains. We're talking Andrew, of course. So now these guys are going to be battling themselves as Vasilis decides he's staying out. So he's going to stick to his guns. It looks like he's got a set strategy. So let's check out what's going up at the top here, as it looks like Geimer and Ekins, things are going to heat up here as well. Ekins has closed that gap to 1.5 seconds. So this is a battle for the podium. See Mark just being very steady, hitting his spots. These really technical, tricky turns, it's like it's so important. Your entry into these turns tells the whole story. You miss your entry, then your exit's going to be slowed. And I think as he chips away on Geimer's gap, it's kind of ebbing and flowing here. It's 1.4, then it's 1.8. So different sectors of the track. And then let's kick back to these guys. I think the teammates here are going to have a battle here for this 5th place spot, as we'll keep an eye on that 3rd place battle. And it looks like we got some other tickets for the pits. So it looks like Bali is coming in for his compulsory pit stop. So he pits from 2nd place, giving Geimer that spot, and puts Ekins on the podium with him as well, but they are yet to pit. So there you have that. So 2nd to pit after Williamson, who was kind of forced to pit with damage. Keep an eye on Bali there. Looks like it should be a pretty routine pit stop. Here comes number 4 car as Bali pulls out. Looks like he's going to pull out, find himself in 7th position. All right. Bring this back to this battle. There is. These guys are duking it out here now. We're probably going to start seeing these guys come in. Now these teammates, they might pit together, or they might decide just to, if Robinson pits. There we go. We've hit the halfway part. We can hear race engine. So I think if Robinson goes, I think Plummer's just going to follow him right in. I think they're going to go tit for tat and pit together. Or you might see if he can stretch out a quick lap while he's getting rubber. But, the tires are starting to get worn. So I think the smart move, as we see the 31 car, looks like he's also pulling into the pits. So Ekins taking his pit stop now. Looks like he's going to pit ahead of Geimer, going to go for the undercut and see if he can't make up the difference in the pits. He was closing nicely. Now he's going to get some fresh rubber. So we'll see how that works out. Vasilis staying out. So he gets a few spots back, and here they come, as I predicted, here they come together, pitting together. So there are your 4th and 5th place cars pitting together as they transpose through each other, which is pretty cool. Ekins will be coming out first. And now we have Geimer in 2nd, Tomlinson yet to pit. Just look at that gap. I mean, come on. That's just crazy. And finally, Jones is in the pit as well. Okay, so pit stops are taking place, and there is Williamson hanging in on this race. See where Geimer's staying out, and Robinson and Plummer are coming out. Let's see where they are, maintaining 6th and 7th. Okay, so as you can see how it's going to be. Oh, it looks like Robinson was probably speeding out of the pits and has got a stop and go, a 30-second stop and go. That's a heartbreaker right there. Oh no. Looks like it was a speeding in the pit lane. That is a heartbreaker. Wow. You got to be careful with ACC, man. They do not mess around in the pits. You speed in the pits, you pay the price. It's not a drive-through. He's got a 30-second stop and go, so I'm curious to see exactly what it was, but I'm pretty sure that that was the case. Here is your leader, who might be pitting this lap. I don't know. So the top 3 are yet to pit. The race out of pit lane is going to be interesting between Geimer and Bali and Eakins, who has pitted. I'm curious to see if it pays off for him. And let's see if here he comes in for his stop and go. What a heartbreak for Robinson. He was running such a great race. I think he's still going to be okay to come out in front of Williamson, but this might put him way back. That 30 seconds is no joke. That's a little bit harsh if you ask me, but hey, you speed pit lane, you are going to pay, as we find out. Okay, let's see where we're at here. Top 3 still yet to pit. Got Robinson serving his stop and go. What else we got going on here? Well, let's check this battle back out down here. Who is where? Eakins. Coming up on Williamson ahead, so Williamson down a lap. Really curious to see when Demanis, Geimer, and Thomason all pit. Of course, Thomason, he could pit and go get a hamburger and come out and still hold the lead. So, barring any incident, he's going to have it made. And I believe he is going to come in now. Here he comes in now. So the leader is in. Leader's pitting. Geimer now coming out of the section. So it looks like this will create a new leader, but of course when Geimer has to pit, that gap that Andrew has built up is just too much of a defense, I think, to keep him from maintaining the lead of this race. So Tomlinson pits on lap 26 with just over 30 minutes to go. Dumanas. Here he's coming in. Here is pit. Oh, and he merely takes himself out on the tires. So Dumanas is now into the pit. So he is also undercutting Geimer. So Tomlinson's done. He's out. We've only got 2 cars left to pit. And since Dumanis is in, it's down to Geimer now, who he has inherited the race lead, but he has yet to pit. So really curious to see where he's going to come out. Let's see where Bali should be coming around. He has taken over that spot from Dumanas. Although it hasn't updated yet on the leaderboard. I'm sure it will when he ticks the next sector mark. So this could be a pretty good battle for second place, as the number 5 still in the pits. He's coming out now, so let's see where Dumanas comes out. Yeah, as I thought. Okay, 5th place. With Geimer left the pit, leading this race for the time being. Okay, so now got fresh rubber. I would assume, let's see, Geimer yet start another lap. He's on lap 28, I believe, and he's yet to pit, so see where that 42, check the gap, 30 seconds. I think the pit stop takes about 48 seconds between the drive through, maybe longer. It's a 30-second pit stop regardless, and then your pit speed's coming and going out. Bali back in 3rd place now. So we're curious to see where this battle for second with Geimer and Bali is going to end up after the Geimer pit stop. Which, okay, he's coming down the back stretch, so we'll check up on him in a couple of turns. Meanwhile, the 52 catching up on lap cars there. And let's see if Geimer pits now. Yep, here he comes. Okay, so Geimer's coming in. Let's take a look at this. You can see there's the Tomlinson, the 42. So yeah, this is going to be an easy pass for him, as well as Eakins. Is Eakins going to also gain a spot? No, I don't think so. Okay, so Steve Tomlinson has that gap that he had has paid off, and he finds himself back in the lead of this race. So now the curious part for me is, where is Bali and Geimer going to end up? So looks like Bali gets through as Geimer's coming out now. So all pit stops are completed, and let's let the software needs to update here, because I think Eakins, it's a little bit out of whack, but Bali. Yeah, it should so. Okay, now it's settled itself. So there's our order. Geimer, that's what I thought. So everybody got through. So as it sits now, it's going to be the battle for the last 28 minutes here. Of about, you know, it's a 6-second gap to that 3rd spot to Bali, and then 4 seconds to Eakins from Geimer. So can Geimer make that time up from the pits? So it looks like the undercut paid off for Eakins, as he finds himself on the podium with just under 27 minutes left. So a lot of racing to go. So this is going to be a battle right here. This battle for 3rd, I think we got these 3 contenders. We got Plummer, Geimer, and Eakins. So curious to see if this gap, if he can maintain that 6-second gap. I guess that's 6 seconds to Bali, and Geimer's 4 seconds back to Eakins. So now see half all that practice pays off for Mark, because he's run a perfect race so far, in my opinion. And Bali, another great race by Roberto. Little bit of elbow shoving there in the beginning, but I mean, it is racing. I mean, you know, they're not carrying babies. These guys are racing. So, no harm, no foul. Take a look on that track map. You see any tight battles going on. Let's go down the list here. Let's check on Ed. Mr. Jones finds himself in 7th place, so he has moved up through his pit stop too. Good job, Robinson, with that 30 seconds. That was a heartbreak, but he's hanging in there battling. There's still plenty of points available for this. You know, this is only the 2nd round. And don't forget, in 2 weeks, it is the 24 hours of Spa. Round 3 is a simulated 24-hour race with Time Excel. It's actually a 2-hour race with Time Excel. So it's going to start in the afternoon, it's going to go through the night and end in the morning. So it'll be a day, night, day transition. So you want to get on board for that one, and that's going to be a fun one. And that's in 2 weeks from today, round 3, the 24 hours of Spa. It's going to be a great event. Get yourself signed up. Wow, even after the pit stop, see that 24-second gap to Bali that Tomlinson has built up. I mean, I can't say enough about Andrew. He's just ran a perfect race. Prepared. I don't think he's run a bad lap. I think he hasn't missed a turn this entire race. If he has, I haven't seen him. And the timings are not showing it. So there you have it. There. Eakins again. Strong showing today. And I am not one to count Geimer out. Geimer is about to set his fastest lap of the race. He is down 3/10. Excuse me. And remember, there is points awarded for fastest lap in quali and fastest lap in race. So even with a 4th place finish, you can squeak an extra point out with that fastest lap. I'm not aware of who has the fastest lap as of yet. That will show up in the SRO results software. There might be a way to find it on here, but I have no idea. Check on Robinson. You can see Bali's kind of closing in on Robinson. So he's not far off from his fastest lap. He's about 5/10 off his fastest lap after the tire change. It's Bali. Closing in there. I don't know if he'll be able to get around Robinson as he's on fresh rubber too. And Robinson did have great pace, so. Boom, excuse me. Here's Eakins. Some 5 seconds back. So he has close to second. I believe it was 6 seconds about 5 minutes ago. So he has dropped, and Geimer has dropped his 4-second gap to 3.9. So, like I said, Geimer is a gamer, and he has always got something left in the tank. So this is going to be this last 20 minutes of this race might determine that third step of the podium. And as long as anything doesn't happen to Bali. Let's check out Vasalis, 6th place. Had a strong start to this race, maintaining, excuse me, Plummer in a solid 5th. Get a good look at this. Sector 1. See if we can get a glimpse of the North Sea anywhere. That was it on the left there. All right, what do we got going on here? So it looks like the Ferrari of Roberto has gotten around Robinson. Probably let him go. He was getting blue flagged. So that stop and go was a killer. Meanwhile, how's this gap? Eakins maintaining his 3rd position, but as you can see, the gap is coming down each lap. It's 3.2 now, so he's dropped another 7/10. Has Geimer chasing down that podium. You can see Eakins up there, so this is going to be a battle. I think the next 10-15 minutes unfolds here with 18 minutes left, just over. I think Geimer, Team Shark, smells blood up there. And we do have some lap traffic up ahead of this battle, so that might come into play in the next 5 minutes or so too. As you can see, he stretches his legs a little bit there on the straight and is able to get a little bit on top of that gap. But then as they go through the turns, Geimer starts to chop that up. Now it's down to 3.0. So you can say it's steadily going down. So Mark Eakins in that Audi is going to have his work cut out for him. He's going to stay on this podium. It's one thing to be able to get up to him. It's another thing to be able to pass at this track. Like as we've seen, it's really hard to pass. A couple of spots. That turn 1 is probably the best and safest opportunity. You can get a good exit out of the last turn and get a run down the straight. That is your safest place to pass. Well, Williamson got his car cleaned up, so he's back in action. Looks like he's going to finish this race, no problem. So we have 3 drivers out so far. Sylvie, Thomas, and Reba, who never made it, and also Pelosi, who was, I believe, leading the points, who missed the race as well. So this is really going to shake the points up, regardless of who wins this. Bali there, 137.7. So he's within about 6 or 7 tenths of his fastest lap. You see Eakins now. Let's check out. You can see Geimer back there. So this is the podium battle here for the final third step on the podium. Will there be enough time for Geimer, and can Eakins stick it out? Both of these drivers are really talented, and it's gonna, I think, come down to the last couple minutes, I believe, because you can see the gap is now down to 2.7. So Geimer chipping away. See if Mark can stay mistake-free and don't help him any, make him earn it, because he is coming. And we got Plummer back here. I think it's pretty safe to say that, yeah, he's going to find himself in a solid fifth. As Vasilis, sixth place, just maintaining. So this is going to be the battle here. Can Eakins hold on? And believe it or not, they're also both closing in on Bali. So if you can see, the Geimer gap is 3.2, but the Bali gap to Eakins is now under 4 seconds. So that gap is indeed coming down as well. So now, could that just be Bali just relaxing a little bit? He's got lap traffic between him and Eakins. So maybe he's just taking it easy. Like I said, it's hard to get a breath in here at this track. As we see Geimer's gap, he's really starting to pour it on now. Come through the dunes and you will see Mark Eakins just in front there. As that gap ever so slowly is closing, as we are under 15 minutes remaining. Really going to be fun to see if Mark can hold this out. Oh, 2.5 seconds now. So let's see, the lap times roughly coming in. Trying to figure out how many laps are going to be left because we are under 14 minutes. About 1.5 minutes a lap with 13 minutes left, so probably looking at, 6 laps, 7 laps maybe. So Eakins needs to get around Plummer as he pulls over to let him by. That's great sport. Great job. Or was that Robinson? My bad. I'm sorry. Not Plummer, but Robinson. Letting the blue flag leader go through, which I'm sure he'll do the same for Geimer as well. So let's see if Eakins can take advantage of the traffic, as Geimer now has to make his way around Robinson. And Robertson gives way, yielding to the blue flag. Great job, Mark. All right, so now 2.4 and 3.1. The gap to second for Eakins is 3 seconds. The gap to third for Geimer is 2.5 seconds. So things are heating up. As we're at 12 minutes remaining. As predicted, this is with 2 minutes left. I think it's going to be a race. That last lap is going to be something. I like this helmet cam here, kind of give an idea of the G-forces as he heads into turn 1. Check out the lean. So see the braking. So from Bali's perspective, we can see Eakins just back there. Got a ways to go still. So he's pretty much cruising. As the Geimer and Eakins has turned into, if we had the drag reduction system, the DRS, he's like 3/10 away from being in it, but of course these cars don't have it, so luckily for Eakins. But Geimer has basically caught him, as we can see from this view, as they head through that 11-12 chicane. It's all on the exit here. And then this, as Eakins scrubbing off some dirt up there, it's really important here. Watch how Geimer gets on the gas and just goes through the gears while holding the apex. Yeah, that's beautifully done. What is Eakins doing up there? Looks like he's trying to eliminate any form of draft that he possibly can, to not allow Geimer to get any kind of pull from him. So as expected, for just under 10 minutes, there is going to be a fight here for this last podium step. Get down and through the dunes. Turn 7 into turn 8 at downhill. And the 9 and 10 tight benders. As Geimer is there. This is your podium residence. We can see Bali just ahead there too. So the gap to second is under 3 seconds as well, with just under 8 minutes to go. So this could really turn out to be some kind of photo finish for that second and third spot. As Geimer's going to look to the inside. He has caught him. Let's see if he can get in the draft. Eakins has just got to hold on. He's maintaining that gap down the straight. That's a good job. He's just got to hold on for about 3 or 4 more laps. Possibly 5. 8 minutes left. And Bali has to see this going on behind him and think, oh man, these guys are catching me as well. So as a driver now, especially if you're Bali, it's just like you have to focus on every apex. You cannot look in your mirrors at this point. You have to hit every mark and just put your best laps in. And I'm sure that's what Eakins is thinking too. Just concentrate on what's in front of you. Check it out from Bali. You can see there's the 3rd and 4th place cars catching up to him. And the gap is under 2 seconds per second now. Wow, this is going to be some kind of photo finish. What a race for the second and third steps on the podium here. That brilliant racing by these guys. Geimer just getting ready. Pounce through that sector 1, big left-hander. I can't say enough how technical this track is. I mean, you have to be on your game here at the Zandvoort. Aikens is keeping that gap out there. It's under a second, but getting through this. Oh, and Geimer's off. This could be it for Geimer. This could be it for Geimer. He put a toe in the grass, and that has spoiled his approach for third. He does have time to make it up. He's got the speed. He's got the skill if he can get it right back up. But it's going to come down to the last lap for Geimer now. So, yeah, he's trying to clean up his tires. That puts Eakins now at a shot at Bali. As the pressure is off, if Eakins, I'm sure, is breathing a sigh of relief, finding the shark is no longer chasing him. So there we have, this is second and third. He's got it down to the 1 second gap. Bali has just got to be going, come on, block. Tick tock tick, let's go. We are under 5 minutes. I don't know if there's enough time for Geimer to recover, but if anybody can, he can. But this Eakins today has just been, he is a possessed man today, driving a brilliant race and now challenging for the second place on the podium as the leader. Tomlinson is from another planet today. He's just outclassed the field. From the drop of the flag, Tomlinson just ran away with this race. So the real battles is right here. I don't see any other position battles going on, so everybody's pretty set where they are, and this is going to determine second and third place points right here. He has caught him now, and the race is on for second place. Comes out of the exit of that last turn, keeping his foot in it, staying off the grass. Nice job. See if we can close up this gap. Him getting sucked up a little bit in the draft there. Brilliant racing by these guys. A lot of fun to watch. .4 second gap as we are under 3 minutes. Bali maintaining that gap though. He's not letting them get too close, but as you can see, the little straights, that Audi has a little bit of horsepower. He's closing that gap on him now. It's under a second. Go through the exit of the last turn. They're going to hit the 2-minute mark. Could be one more lap after this, as they will cross the line again. As the leader's about 30 seconds in front of them anyway, so I don't think there'll be more than 2 laps after this. This could be it. Eakins a little bit wide there, but keeps the gap under half a second. He is looking for a spot now. And I believe Williamson has just retired with just under a minute to go, so. There we go. We heard it from the race director. The leader is on the final lap. As you can see, he's half a lap in front of these guys, just about. So the Eakins will have one lap to go to try and take that spot. You can see Geimer back there. He's got it under 3 seconds, but he's just, that was unfortunate. He just lost his one tire off in the grass. I think this would have been a 3-car battle for this spot. As Eakins is looking, he's looking. He's got the draft. This is it. This is the lap. Is he going to go for bust, or is he going to just, doesn't want to risk that third place? Because if he makes a mistake, Geimer is right there to grab that third place podium. They're coming down for the last time to the 8-9 turn, 9 to 10, 10. Ed Jones is up there, and your leader has crossed the line. We'll get a look at him in a minute. Oh, as Eakins goes off. Ah, that could spoil his chances. He had him. He was on his bumper, but just that little bit, you know, you're pushing and you're pushing and you're pushing. He's still almost there, but it's just about a second gap. It's going to come down to this last. As they're going to cross the line, it's going to be Bali holding on for second. Eakins with a brilliant race in third. And there you have that. Great fight. Geimer finishing fourth. There's your leader. There is your race winner. Andrew Tomlinson just ran away with this race. Untouchable today. Brilliant job on their team victory for HSR. There is your winner. There's your second place car. Roberto Bali in second place. Mark Eakins with a brilliant run in third place. Simon Geimer finishing fourth. David Plummer with a great show in fifth place. The other HSR team member. Vasilis hanging in there with a sixth place. Great points today for him as he's coming up to finish his race. There he goes, and a really nice run by Ed Jones, who's parked it already, finishing seventh. And there you have it. Great racing today, guys. That was something else. As you can see, Riva never made the grid, unfortunately. A well race was had by, oh, what an exciting race. It was an awesome job by everybody. I want to remind you guys, tomorrow is round 3 at Long Beach at the AMS2 kart race in the Indy cars, 98 Indy cars. Then we have also starting up next week, we have the Porta Mio of the Alfa Romero R Factor 2 147 Cup on Tuesday the 10th, starting at 18:15 GMT. And then round 2 at Imola on Wednesday night in the BMW TCX class. I really encourage you guys to take a look at that. Really fun racing. And then next weekend it's the DTM early R Factor 2 at 16:15.8. And then Magny Cours GP, the DPI and S397 GT race is Sunday, May 8th. And that's going to do it for today. I want to say thanks for watching. I'm your host, Rob Milliken at SimRacingOnline. Enjoyed having you. I hope you enjoyed the race. And I look forward to seeing you next time.